This segment is sponsored by Atlantic Union Bank.
Well, the beginning of the year is a great time to evaluate your business banking needs, and it's important for business owners to work with the right bank to meet their goals. Joining us this morning is David Ring, and he's the Commercial Banking Group Executive at Atlantic Union Bank. In full disclosure, I bank with Atlantic Union.
That's great.
There we go.
Thanks for the business.
Let's talk about business owners, since we kind of started there, and why they should be choosing Atlantic Union.
Sure. Well, Atlantic Union is a statewide Richmond-based bank, which is terrific for folks because we know the local markets in each of the Virginia communities, especially here in Richmond where we're based. Yeah. We provide all the services that a large bank would provide, but we provide it with a local flair, local flavor.
Yeah, and that makes a difference, doesn't it?
It sure does.
It really
sure does. Folks look for us to be leaders in the community as well as a bank. So when our money is really made here, you know we're going to reinvest it in the community, which is great for everybody in Richmond.
It definitely makes a big difference. Let's talk about lending authority and decision making. Tell us how that is addressed and what difference that makes.
Sure. When a business customer is choosing a bank, you really want to know where decisions are being made. If your decisions are made if the decisions are made out of state, it may influence the ultimate conclusion of it because they don't necessarily know the market as well. If it's a piece of real estate, they might be using Google Earth and just zoning in on it.
Where you drive by it every day.
Right, where we drive by it every day, and we have the local authority here to determine whether or not it's the right property for us to lend to.
Again, that's going to make a huge difference.
It does.
In a lot of cases. So you're dealing with local folks who know the area, know the trends.
That's right.
Know all about that.
That's right.
Let's talk about SBA loans. Have we got those?
SBA loans are great. We're a preferred lender, which means we underwrite on behalf of the SBA. So they trust us to be their emissary. We're the #1 504 lender, SBA lender in the state.
What is a 504?
Commonwealth.
Explain that to me, because I'm not a banker.
Yes, the 504 loans are equipment and real estate loans.
Okay.
So we are the #1 equipment and real estate loan lender using the SBA program in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And I did know what SBA, small business.
Right.
So that I did
right.
get that one right.
One thing you should know about the SBA, though, it's great for businesses that have been in place for a couple of years that are growing, because the SBA can provide guarantees to banks, so we might be able to offer better terms and conditions.
I think we kind of covered some of this, but I want to do the distinction between your bank and other big national. You're here in Richmond. We kind of covered that, but
Sure.
Can you take that to the next step?
Sure. So, larger banks are great because they offer a lot of branches, they offer a wide array of services, but they tend to put companies in a box because they have to be very consistent the way they do business. Smaller regional banks like Atlantic Union, we don't have to work inside of a box. We could be a little bit more creative. Since we know the market, we understand how the business environment is here, we can offer maybe better terms and conditions or a little tweak here and there to make the structure better for a client.
So if I go into your bank and walk into Atlantic Union, what should I be asking? Or maybe I don't even know enough to ask. And you have to, you filled me in on what one loan meant. But
sure.
So if you sit down and talk, then you can educate yourself and talk to some experts who deal with this every day.
Right. There are a few things to think of. First, think about what your goals and objectives are, not just in the first 12 months, but in the first 24, 36 months, because you want to understand whether or not the bank can grow with you and have the products and services to offer you long term. Second, you think about the expertise of the bank. So you ask the bank, do you have experience with companies just like mine? If you're a veterinary practice or if you're a government contractor, do we have experience at Atlantic Union or any other bank in those industry types, right? Then you want to look at what their approval process is. Is it local or do you have to go out of state? How much lending authority does that individual person you have you're talking to have, right?
Yeah, you're talking to the decision maker
Right,
at that point.
right.
And that always makes a difference.
It sure does.
Yeah.
And all the decisions are made here locally.
Thank you, David.
From the bank.
Great job.
You bet.
I enjoyed talking to you.
Thanks.
Visit Atlantic Union Bank at 1051 East Carey Street in Richmond. Give them a call, 800-990-4828, or visit them online, AtlanticUnionBank.com. You can also find them on social media, Atlantic Union Bank on Facebook and Atlantic_Union on Twitter. Stay tuned. Virginia This Morning returns after a quick break.